All right, Coach, we're going to talk about this game against the Kansas City Chiefs, where I think probably your quarterback played his best game of the year.
He's playing really good football for us, Chris, and he's doing a lot of things in the pocket that we do like. He's looking down the field, getting through his progressions. The pass protection has been better. Not quite sure about this ball security right there, Townie. That's kind of how you do it in the backyard, but he never really loses vision down the football field, which is great. He stays in rhythm, he resets, and he throws a bullet to Jordy Nelson for a huge play. But he's doing a lot better job, I think, in the pocket. And here in the red zone, he looks off the free safety, he scrambles to his left. He's motioning Marcel Aitman to take it back to the pylon, and he makes a great throw. Unfortunately, our rookie just can't get both feet in, but this is a great example of Derek trusting the protection, staying with the route, and executing in the pocket, which is a big part of this.
Yeah, because you said that even with adversity, you still want to see him make plays.
No doubt, and he's done a great job of that, and he did it throughout the game. We even ran a zone read. We pulled this right out of the NC2A now. We're going to read Justin Houston, who's a really good pass rusher on the left side of the screen. He's going to hand that ball to Doug Martin, but if Justin Houston closes, he's going to keep it, pick up Jared Cook as his lead blocker. Look at this. He looks like he's playing back in the NCAA, man. So he's doing a lot of things better in the pocket, and we're able to do a lot of different plays because he is very athletic.
RPO is the big thing in the NFL right now, and Derek is a better athlete than people think.
He really is, and we would like to get more yardage rushing from him because he is capable of doing it.
Yeah, because we've seen that sometimes when you're having that pass rush come around you, take advantage of that going up the middle and running the football.
Yeah, and when you see a lot of these combination coverages where they're doubling Cook or they're doubling Richard, a lot of times there's some natural scramble lanes, and we'd like to probe that in our offense a little bit more as the season unfolds.
One of the great rivalries in the history of football, and you think about the 70s, and you think about when we were kids, and men were men, Coach, football, Raiders and Steelers.
Yeah, no doubt. Some of the greatest players to ever play the game played in this rivalry, and you see the Snake and he going up against Terry Bradshaw. Usually it came down to the wire, and Cliff Branch, my roommate on the road right now, made a lot of big plays. You see Mike Wagner chasing him. But it was always a team that had multiple Pro Bowl players, future Hall of Famers. I bet these two teams were sore the next day they woke up after playing this game.
The twos right there. He was a monster.
Yeah, there's Villapiano. You know, there's a rumor that Villapiano is going to come to the game escorting Franco Harris. Will that be something?
Really?
That's the rumor. I heard that from Villapiano's daughter, that her dad is bringing Franco Harris for the first time into the black hole as his guest.
I mean, you think about that. The head coaches are Hall of Famers. All the players that they had were Hall of Famers. This rivalry was just intense. It was just the best of football.
Well, this is where I fell in love with football as a kid. Growing up in Ohio, I was a big Cleveland Brown fan, and every year the Steelers knocked the Browns out, and then the Raiders knocked the Browns out, so I wasn't a big fan of either team. But this is where you really, truly fell in love with football. This is when all the chips were on the table, and in the AFC it usually came down to Miami, it came down to the Raiders, and it came down to the Steelers, and there's our favorite Jim Plunkett making another great throw when we needed it the most.
I think about that play against Terry Bradshaw. That would have been a penalty in today's football.
It probably would have been a penalty. Plunkett, he took so many hits, you know, back in the day where the quarterback didn't get the protection that he gets now. But he proved how tough he was in the critical moments for the Raiders, and great to call him a friend.
And we're going to go over the game on Sunday, and you got a wide receiver here you got a quarterback who's not afraid and a receiver who's got a lot of speed.
You got a lot of speed. At the top of the screen, you see Antonio Brown, and if you play single coverage and you want to go press him, here you see Dre Kirkpatrick using that offhand jam technique, and if you don't get a good piece of him on the jam, he can not only hurt you with the release, but he can shred you after the catch. This man is a real problem. You got to be very careful with him, Townsend, on the line of scrimmage. So if you want to get physical with him, you better make sure you hit your target. But what you love about him is if you're sitting in your office and you're drawing up plays, you can really diagram just about every route that you want, and he can run it to perfection. Here he is at the bottom of the screen running a double move, and it's painful to watch. We got to deal with this guy for 60 minutes, and it's going to be important that we know where number 84 is at all times.
And speaking of future Hall of Famers, Ben Roethlisberger, what a quarterback he has been, the Super Bowls. And just really, when you think about someone who's fearless in throwing the football down the field, he's one of the best.
Yeah, no doubt he is. Our tight end coach, Frank Smith, 37 years old, played with Roethlisberger at Miami, Ohio. They were good friends on the same team. I said, Frank, you're old. You're a coach. When's this guy going to retire? But every year, Roethlisberger has the Steelers in the money games. How about this throw? This is like a no-look throw. You got a guy beating down on you, and you uncork this thing across the field. That ball's 60 yards in the air, and it hits Antonio Brown in stride. Man, I hate watching this tape with you. And then down here at the bottom of the screen, it's just vintage timing. If you've ever seen the Steelers practice, you know how many hours these two guys put in on the field. Brown can't win over the top, so they throw the back shoulder throw, and very hard to defend. It'll be an exciting day, 1 o'clock on Sunday, Steelers, Raiders, and we'll renew this rivalry. It'll be fun.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what the records are. When you see these two uniforms go up against each other, you know it's classic football. All right, Coach, we'll see you on Sunday. Good luck at the Coliseum.
Good to see you, man. Thanks.